Hello, the game has started. It's me to go first. I have a great looking rack. I've got the blank, but do I have a bingo? Slightly light on vowels, but I do have the ing ending. So, what about skiting? I have a slight doubt about this. But if it's good, it's 88 points. And it is. What a start. And not a bad follow-up rack. I'm not immediately seeing a 7, but there could be an 8 here. I know I didn't spend long on that opening rack, but this set of 6 tiles without the blank was pretty unpromising, so I don't think there were a ton of bingos available. Now, I think refolded is good. I would need another E for that. And I think folded is not good, but wow, look at this. There is another E. And this does not have an anagram. So, will my opponent hang around? He's already 140 points behind. I have got a non-bingo-y rack here. But I do have a couple of vowels to assist in playing the J. And wow, there's the triple letter square above the O. I'm not sure I can get the J to play twice. I don't have a vowel. Well, opponent's gone there. Now, I don't have a J played down from the D. I don't need to play the J straight away because the rest of the rack is non-bingo-y. So I do have in mind the V and splitting up the R's. But nothing has come to mind. I don't have gin because IR isn't good. No SJ plays. So, a rip-roaring start, but suddenly grinding to a halt. I've seen no candidate plays. Well, what about Revo? This is quite nice. I don't think it takes an S. It's a half-decent score. It's providing nothing for opponent, and it's taking out the triple word square, bottom, middle. But before I play this, do I have a play down from the D using any tiles at all? I don't think I do. So, Revo for 19, is there anything better? I do have Roji on my rack. Which does play in this same spot and is going to score more. It does take an S, but the score's a lot more. And V does have some synergy with N, and V is a more bingo-y tile than the J. So this is an improvement. Anything better? Can A takes an S? No, I am going with this. Well, close to a bingo, but I don't think it's close enough. Environd is good, but that's a 9. Do I have anything through this I? Wow, I was so close to playing the play Revo, which doesn't take an S. Have I gifted opponent a bingo? Well, I still lead by a bingo. What to do here? I don't think there are any bingos. So, what can I play? I have Vendor on my rack, so I could play Vendors down onto the S, opening the board up. Row H quite hot onto this triple word square. But I don't think I can play there. Volen, I think, only has a sticky S, so Volens is good, Volen is not. So I could regret this. I could be gifting opponent precisely the floater he needs. Wow, Z still to come with this O spot. How foolish is this? Playing off all these tiles. Now I do have Vold for 30 points, leaving double NR. I think that's probably a better play. I really don't like retaining double N though. Is there anything better I haven't considered? I have Rove N on my rack. What plays use the N? Well, I'm just going for score. Vold for 30. Wow, that is a ridiculous pickup. I have Engrains, Beginners, Grannies in column 3. That is insane. Wow, and probably undeserved, I think, having retained double NR. I have Grannied in column 15, so I am definitely bingoing. Does Grannied have an anagram? I don't think it does. It looks like it does, but it doesn't. So Grannied for 83. And this isn't bad. QV is a bit of a horror show, but look at the other 5 tiles, pretty amazing. And I have A and T to go with the Q. So I have Cat and Ut, pretty volatile. Ut takes A, E and S. Are there any I's for Chin? Well, yes, there are. Gosh, I could play Chin and Chi, retaining Stave. Pretty good 5-letter set, and no risk of duplicating the V. So this Vold play worked out really well, and it could have worked out so bad. I kept double NR, and there were still 2 N's to come at that point. Now, I also have Trank through an R, but more to the point, opponent has created a very hot lane. So I'm reluctant to burn the S, but there's still 2 S's to come and a blank, and this is 50 points, so I'm not going to get anywhere close to that. Chin and Chi only scores about 25, and it leaves open row O, and row O is good for plays which they can put an A as well as an S under Jot. So I could play this 1 square along, but again I'm sacrificing too many points. 28 points for Cat 1 square along, so retaining the S is not worth 20 points. I am going with this. Wow. Well, ostensibly pretty grim. However, I do have Unwives in column 3, which would totally sort the rack out. 14 minutes on my clock, 17 on opponents, and just 32 tiles left. Okay, opponent turning over tiles, not bingoing, fine by me. I have a new spot for Unwive, and this scores more. And is something. What am I trying to say? Let me get this down first. Okay, so the rack leave isn't as good as Unwives. I'm taking out a double lane. This C isn't particularly dangerous. It's not a triple lane. Only 24 points. I think I'm minded to play up here. It's 2 more points, and it's a better rack leave. And I'm turning over 1 more tile with a blank to come. I am going with this. Not bad. Well, vowel heavy, 5 vowels. But it feels fairly flexible. I have Bureau through the U of Unwives. Not immediately seeing a play onto the C. whole of the bottom of the board completely no-go area in terms of bingos, but plenty of lanes in the top half, floaters in on wives and cowpea and skiting. 20 tiles in the bag. Okay, opponent bingos, only 64 points, which is good. I still lead by over 100. 13 tiles in the bag, and Foamiest has taken out almost all of the bingo lanes. Let me check the remaining vowels. 6 out of 20. Slightly vowel dry. I'm thinking about playing foobar. 30 points, decent score. Not the worst rack leave in the world. Given that there are more consonants and vowels to come, including some high-scoring tiles which go well with vowels. But can I do any better than this? Let me put this back. I have 12 minutes. Can I get the B doubled, for example? This game appears to have been played at breakneck pace. Just 16 minutes, or still 16 minutes on opponent's clock, and more than 10 on mine. No eyes to come, and E is not a problematic duplicate tile. I am going with this. And that's a pretty nice pickup. This looks close to a bingo, but it's a non-bingo-y board. So I think it's just going to be a run of non-bingo plays. Wow, 71 for opponents. I wasn't anticipating that. Fortunately, opponent still trails by 70, but what if he gets a 70-point Z play? Now, 5 tiles left. Am I sure I don't have a bingo? Are there any lanes? N and A look most attractive. Is there a bingo with this rack plus A and N? Well, I think so. No, I was thinking of Mandarin and Meandrian, but both of those have double N, so I'm not seeing anything there, and the other pairs are less promising. So, back to the issue in question. Can I get a 30-point play and play 4 tiles? Annoyingly, I don't have a vowel to go to the left of the P, otherwise this column looks pretty handy. Now my E can go next to the W. Well, yeah, I have Mead down here. Deem is going to score more. 28 points, does not provide a Z spot, and column 5 better than column 4. Well, is it though? I was thinking about opponent playing the Z, but either column 4 or column 5 takes out the other column as well. So this is 33 points, decent score, leaving 1 in the bag for perfectly fine rack leave, not creating any 70-point Z plays. Are there any such plays I need to block? There are not. Opponent may get 50 or 60 by playing in column 11, Z00 T, for example, but he's a long way behind, and that's not going to be enough. I have article and recital and talkia. Don't think any of those will play, but it's a pretty nice final set. So opponent does have the Z, he does not have the T for zoot. Now, column 8 was available, which I didn't consider the B and the N. I'm considering it now for this rack, but not seeing anything. So super nice bingo-y rack, but it's the end of the game and there just aren't the lanes available. Now my C can go in front of UM. That's where opponent's gone. Now O takes an L in front, so article, recital, Talkia, none of those play. Is there a fourth anagram? I've got a nagging feeling that there is, but it would need to begin with an L, and I'm not seeing it. So 8 minutes on my clock. I can see what opponent's got. He would have up gaze through an A. I don't think he's going out in 1. I need to go out in 2. So, is there a lane through this N? It would have to end N and D. No, not seeing anything. So coming back to here, I can play, although this isn't a great spot for opponent, it's simply a good spot for me to play. So I can play Lacia. And do I have 2 spots for the T? TO and out, so I certainly can go out. And I lead by over 100, so this game is won. Where's the best spot for my T? That's 2 points, 2 points, 4 points, 5 points, 6 points with ST and TI. Opponent plays G's, so this is where I got up to. Let me just finish this exercise. Out. Hot is the same, 6 points. Yeah, not seeing anything better. And the final score, 403 for my opponent, 492 for me, a winning margin of 89 points, so a huge, huge win. Let's see what I missed. Wow, what a game. Blistering start. And it continued in that vein. So me to go first, and there were other bingos. So I played skiting, pretty sharpish, but kithing was available, and that would have been better because I would not have been providing a floating S for opponent, but just the 2 bingos available. Opponent's rack, no bingo, plays Cane, and refolded the only bingo, so absolutely super start for me. Opponent plays Ha, and now I slowed down, but Jivey E5. Wow, a way of getting rid of the J and the V. Nice. What do I do? Yeah, and Jivey would not have provided an S spot for Mill Rice. But if I hadn't played where I did play, Mill Rice would have played in row J, so I may have struggled to make a play which opponent wouldn't have bingoed through with his rack. So opponent's rack, and he has a choice of bingos. And I play Vold here after a lot of flapping around. Opponent's rack plays Unto, and now this was the fabulous draw that I had to NNR. And there was an anagram for Grannied Durning, and that would have been better because I wouldn't have been creating bingo lanes at the top. Opponent's rack, a lot of vowels, plays Tail, and now Cats for 50 looks best. And I have, wow, nearly 200-point lead. And a missed bingo! Pico wave! Wow! Unbelievable. B11 through the V of Vold. Gosh, super tricky word to spot, but it was there. Now I play, well, unwives, which is way down the list. Events scores more, but UW is a dreadful keep. So if you look on the right-hand side, the unwives keep is significantly better than anything else available, so I like my play. Nice bingo for opponent, and now I lead by 115, and the board is tightening up in terms of bingo lanes. I play foobar, which doesn't even feature here, but as you can see, the highest score was only 3 more points. And I did want to play in row A because there are FZ plays. Fantastic spot by opponent, which slightly spooked me, but fortunately I was far enough ahead to survive his 71-point play. Phew, no 9-letter bingo here. I felt that this was a super promising 7-letter set. And B4, Mead, that was my play. Opponent's rack plays Boo. Phew, no missed bingo at the end. There were CL plays. Claret for 41. That would have been an improvement over Lacia. Yeah, but just 6 points in it. Opponent plays G's. And finally, ST for 6 was the best. So what a game. Absolutely rip-roaring stuff. Amazing start with 2 back-to-back bingos, and then I moved into a 200-point lead, and although opponent came back from that with a great spot of Zist, I was far enough ahead to survive his late charge. So many thanks to my opponent for a good battle. I hope you enjoyed watching that game, and I will see you next time.